Oh wow. Wow, 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 wow. So that means that I've been saying a lot and no one was hearing me. Well, that's very unfortunate. Thank you for letting me know that. So sorry about that, guys. I think you should be able to hear me now because I just realized that my mic was muted. That's very disappointing. But yeah, I'll just summarize what I said because I've said quite a lot, and perhaps anybody that will be watching this after will just see my movement, not hearing any sound. So I'll just summarize what I was saying essentially. You know, there was issues. The defense was the biggest problem in terms of the goals that we conceded. Otherwise, we were perfectly fine. We were able to handle Liverpool's high press. Obviously, there were shaky moments. Casado, got lucky a few times. Sanchez making some odd decisions in some areas, and even the way that his starting position for the goal that Curtis Jones ended up scoring, it was pretty poor, very poor. But at the same time, I have to give Sanchez flowers for other aspects. He made some good passes, some excellent passes. There was a chance in the first half. I don't remember who got to the end of it, and it was a good opportunity, and it led to nothing. I think Gusto tried to make a cross, and it went way wide, and went high as well. So I think that is. I don't know. The game is up and down. There was instances where you could say Chelsea did wonderful, and I'm saying that I'm disappointed that we weren't able to get the job done because Chelsea could have gotten the win against Liverpool. We could have gotten a point, and even, but I would say points because opportunities that we unfortunately weren't able to get the better of Liverpool with, and get them to be goals because we struggled to get shots on target. But before I progress any further, and before I add my first panelist who's here, and big up to him as well, Nightbot is sharing this, which is very important for the channel and important for any YouTube channel, as a matter of fact. Don't forget to like the stream, Blues, if you love what you see. I know, the spirits are probably low right now, but ensure that you like the stream. It will push it to more people. And the aim of this is so that we can have an interactive conversation where you're able to give your thoughts, I share mine, and we have panelists as well who will give their opinions on the game. But welcome to the stream, Garvin. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being the first panelist here. I hope you're good. I hope your Sunday has been good otherwise than this defeat.
Yeah, it's for me, man, it's one of the worst Sunday because you know my whole soul, you know how it goes, and not only that too, it's our birthday today, so you get a big birthday gift, and my birthday gift seems like it's nothing. So the it's a very sad one on my part, but you know I see a lot of positivity that I can take away from this game. To be quite honest, I don't see where the team, in the last 2 years, where you sit and you watch the game and there's no hope once we go behind. I see improvement. I can see the team, building. Unfortunate that we come up against Liverpool right after the international break. Liverpool right now, for me, it's the best team in the Premier League. Slot have a very good team. They just need something fresh. I'm talking about Liverpool. Just need something fresh, and that's what they do. They have a new manager, new mind, new tactics. Because don't let us go over the edge. And talk about Liverpool. Liverpool be chasing Man City for the last about 6 years, 7 years on the clock, 8 years, for wherever it be, push them to the edge. So I think that the team was already a Premier League title contention team, but I just think that something fresh, will definitely bring them, to where they are now. But congratulations to Liverpool, good fought game, which we're going to get into later because I know that we could get a penalty earlier in the game where I think that could have changed the game, but unfortunately, you know, um, it's just one of those days. I want to say thank you to all the viewers and subscribers, and please remember to like, share, and even subscribe. And hit the like button while we go in the show.
Yes, thank you, Garvin. Yeah, you mentioned something in the latter stages of your statement about we could have gotten a penalty early on, and speaking about penalty, the penalty. I don't know. Probably I'm salty as a Chelsea fan. But I think the penalty that I was given against Levi Cole was a bit harsh. I get that there's contact, and the rule and the law of how the game works is that if there's contact, despite minimal, if the player is deprived of being able to move any further and they're brought down, then it's a penalty. But I think that was a bit harsh. I don't think it was enough contact to be worthy of a penalty. But can curve was spilled milk, and at the end of the day, the man Mo Salah was able to convert the penalty, sending Sanchez the wrong way. But you mentioned the penalty shout, Sancho being brought down, and I think that was more of a penalty because you could see Alexander Arnold's arm wrapped around Sancho, and that is depriving him of being able to move further. So I believe that should have been looked at least by VAR, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah, for real, like if you're gonna give the Jones one, you should at least give the one, the Sancho one, because it's similar. I know they're gonna say it wasn't intentional or whatever, but you can see clearly the ankle roll. And I think that's one of the reasons why Sancho come off. You can see the ankle roll when he made that tackle. You can see that he definitely missed the ball and it takes Sancho anchor. So it's just one of those where you can say the official today, wasn't on point. There was a lot of things that you could take, even swing back to our side. Tustin could have easily get a red card 7 minutes in the game too. But I know the reason why it wouldn't be a red card. We a lot of people are gonna say controversial because of the Arsenal one. But you can look at the difference. The difference is the Arsenal goalkeeper would have been the next man that closer to the play. If the keeper stood his ground or go forward, that would be a yellow card. But what the goalkeeper did for Arsenal, so I can break it down for the people in the comment section, and the viewers, what the keeper done in the Arsenal one, he back off to go back towards his goal. So when you look at it, Saliba was the last man. The goalkeeper didn't have a chance to reach the ball, even if that he could have get it, because the way how he turn his back and go back to his goal. So that's why it's a red card, because Saliba is the last man, and it wasn't a chance for the goalkeeper to really get the ball. So if you look at it, twist back to the Chelsea one, where tossing, you got Levi Colwell right there, and also Sanchez was advancing. So it would be a situation where it wouldn't be a clear chance to goal, because Levi Colwell was there to cover, and even the goalkeeper was a little bit advanced. So that's the difference. For a lot of people, gonna say that it's not what Ty, what is the word I'm looking for right now? I'm sorry, man. I got a long day yesterday. The consistent. If they're gonna say it's not consistent, so that's the reason why. So it's a similar, but it's different in many different aspect of it.
Yeah, yeah, and I love the fact that you mentioned that, because as soon as I saw that, I said, "Oh, I was hoping we get a red card, because it reminded me exactly of what happened against against Arsenal, with Saliba getting sent off." But yeah, you mentioned the reason why it's different, and you did a good job at explaining the difference, because Levi Cole was there, and I think if it was a case where Levi Cole wasn't there, and then it was a case where even Sanchez was still advancing, it would have still been a case of him being given a yellow card. But yeah, I want to welcome Tobago, the coolest show. Thank you for joining. Big up to you. And how is your Sunday, barring the fact that Chelsea lost?
Yeah, big up, guys. Big up, Gavin. Big up, Ty. Guys, I won't be long because we don't have electricity in my area. But I said, you know what? Let me come in for a few minutes or so. To be honest, my thoughts about the game. I think we played very well, to be honest, especially in the second half. Liverpool didn't get a sniff in the second half. The only thing they got was just a lack of concentrating after we scored an equalizer. This is the issue that we've been having. You need to focus after scoring a goal. You don't have to be overexcited and everything. So overall, as much as people will say Enzo Maresca got it wrong, are you kidding me? Are you telling me Enzo Maresca told those players to let Jones to score that goal? Bro, this on players. Sometimes players need to take responsibility. As much as we want to criticize the coach, I think the game plan was fantastic because Liverpool got chances, but again, they didn't hit us that much. Levi Colwell should have done better in terms of that penalty. For me, I think it's a soft penalty, but again, they gave them because it's Liverpool. I don't want to complain, but also Sancho was kicked in the first half. We didn't get a penalty. Ah, man, why the Premier League is not consistent? This is the issue we're having at the moment. But overall, for the first time in a while, like I'm not angry, I'm not pissed, I'm not like after a defeat. I should have been angry about this, but again, no. I think we played very well, but again, our players sometimes need to take responsibility from their mistake. Renato Vega had a fantastic chance to score equalizer. He didn't. Malo Gusta there in the last minute chance. He should have been composed rather than kicking the ball in the first time. So overall tie, man, I'm not angry. I'm just okay. But again, we need to do better as a team.
Yes. I agree with you, Tobago. You've
I'm
mentioned
glad.
three things that. Yeah, go ahead, Garvin.
No, I'm glad Tobago. I don't want to miss no point today because sorry, Ty, I don't mean to cut you off. You know, I know you're hosting the show, but I don't want to miss any points. So I really want to jump out what Tobago said. I think that's one of the biggest issues that we got right now. You know, it's the defensive third of the game. The team rather for me because I think that once we get the defensive line right and the goalkeeper, with stop making, some of those little simple mistake. Never not saying he making a mistake today, but I'm just saying overall, once we can correct the defensive part where we stop, where we limit the opportunity, I think that we'll be up there. I'm glad you mentioned it because I think that's one of the weakest link right now in our team. Not saying that our the defenders are bad, but I'm just saying that we can do a little bit better. Once we get that together, and I think that we will do very well.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, especially with what you just said, it aligns with what you said and what Tobago said. I was mentioning in the beginning of the stream. Unfortunately, I was informed by Just Blue that my mic was muted. But what I was saying is that it's disappointing. It's never good to lose a match, but I don't know. I don't feel angry. I'm disappointed, slightly frustrated because the game was there for the taking. But I don't know. Probably that's why I'm smiling. But I was saying this. The Chelsea that we saw play today is different from the one that played against Liverpool in January of last season under the former manager. It's a completely different team. We can leave Anfield with our heads held high slightly because we did give Liverpool a good competition. They seemed fearful in that first half before they got that penalty. I know we were creating opportunities. Obviously, the possessiveness aspect of it that doesn't do much if you don't score goals, and we weren't able to get enough of our chances on target. We ended up having more shots than them in the eventual end of the match. But unfortunately, I can't say I'm upset. It's disappointing. I am happy with the progression that we've seen since we've changed manager and we've gotten Maresca. And I see McInerney saying that Maresca folded under pressure at the beginning of the second half. I mean, I can understand why you'd say that. I get it. That is somewhat valid. He seemed as if he looks like he didn't know what else to do at a certain point when the camera cut to him. But I think that as Tobago said, the plan was efficient. I think it should have worked. but there was somewhat of the players letting down the manager because we saw Liverpool falling prey to what we were asking them to do, and we're still able to get beyond them, draw them out of position. And I went onto other channels and I went onto streams, to preview this match, and I would have said that we need to have a plan B. If Liverpool are gonna try to be resolute, sit deep, because it's not the same Liverpool that we saw on the clock where they play at such of a high line consistently. They may spread out, they may be wide, they may have a higher back line, but it won't be like that consistently. They will sit deep, and that's what we saw. And we saw one of the reasons why Liverpool have the best, if I believe, the best defensive record so far this season in terms of how many goals they've conceded. We make it 3 goals now, but it also confirmed what I believed as well when I said that, I see us getting a goal. People were predicting 2-0, 4-0 to Liverpool. I said that I think we're going to score a goal because we've been able to find goals, especially in the first minutes or the early parts of the second half or in the first half. And that's what happened in the second half. We were able to come out well and we got a goal through Jackson. But, it's disappointing, really is disappointing. But as Tobago said, and as you echoed as well, Garvan, the result isn't as bad as many people expected it would be. Obviously, we would have wanted to get the 3 points. Arsenal dropping points, we could have potentially gone ahead of them. We could have solidified ourselves in the top three for this match week. But it is what it is, and we have to progress and we have to see what's next. But I just want to quickly go to this comment by Jesus is King. Big up to you as well. He's saying it's time we bench Sanchez. So what do you guys think about this? I know you're going to see this injured. Bettinelli was the only option, but what do you think about this? Do you think Sanchez needs to be dropped to the bench?
No, unfortunately, it seems like our second goalkeeper is not fit at the moment. He got an injury or something during the international break, so I'm not sure whether he will be back on Thursday and stuff. But again, as much as Sanchez today, he was sloping everything. I don't think the coach will drop him as much as we are not happy about his performance. To be honest, like we are saying at the moment, I think we played better as a team. But again, those lack of concentration, those major uh, moments, we should have done better. But overall, bro, as much as we lost, I'm not mad about this performance. Especially remember the first one, I was so mad, but this one, I'm just cool, bro. I don't want to lie.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not echoing what Tobago say, but Will Sanchez, the dropping of Sanchez, I don't think that definitely that he have a bad game, so we definitely have to take him out. I think that we got moments in the game. I think that it's the lack of match match sharpness from Reece James. To be quite honest, he got a lapse, for the Jones game where he got in two minded. Where he should have go to the man that's closer to the goal. As a defender, your job is always try to go to the man that's closer to your goal. And I think that he was thinking about the man that's wide. So but I think that while he started to build up his match fitness, and get into the rhythm and the groove of it, that's gonna get better because we all know that Reece James is a very good one-on-one defender. It's not a defender that you can easily beat one-on-one. But that was just a lack of concentration, you know, um, for me in that aspect. It's gonna get better on his side, but you can see the difference that Reece James bring. It's not criticizing Reece James, but we can see the difference that Reece James bring into this team, from a Malagusto with some of the crossing, like the way he will drop the ball across or he put it in some dangerous areas. So I think that we're gonna get better. The longer this go on, the more that this team, the defense line get a stable settings. I think that the only thing we can do is just hope for the best because it's gonna get better from here out. But one thing again, the discipline, the lack of the heap of yellow cards, that's one of the biggest issues because with a Fafana can see that he's not getting much game time. You can see a little bit of rustiness in his game, in the defensive area. But overall, as Tobago say, I leave this game very happy. I'm very happy. Like I'm not frustrated. I'm not mad. I'm not confused what happened. I see a lot of positivity, that I can take from this game. It's just move on to the next one. We got Newcastle coming up. Then we got our Arsenal, I think. Arsenal without Saliba, because I think he got a 3 game match ban. So I think that we just have to be positive for the rest of the games. I see where we can leave this tough fixtures as what everyone say, with our Ed Li.
And just to add to that, I know people say Enzo Maresca got it wrong, blah blah, but did you see that substitution of Tyson to play Byron Barishile? It worked so perfect for us because after that we controlled the game more. Liverpool didn't get a sniff, bro. They didn't even get anything. The only issue that we had, we should have made Viega. Sometimes he was slow. If we had a proactive left back that knows how to cross balls and everything, I think we should have done better. But Noni overall in the second half, he was more quiet. Also with Cole Palmer. But again, that substitution for me was fantastic because he saw Tosin was so slow and he needed something, especially after that goal. But overall, bro, what are your thoughts about that change, Gavin and Ty?
You said nothing but the way can change, right?
No, the Tosin, Benin Badishile for Tosin.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. It was a good change because Dustin was struggling. Much as he's one of the most experienced defenders we got in the team, you can see that for the match sharpness, you can see that it wasn't in it. He was making a lot of silly mistake from the game start. Put us under pressure a few times with some bad passing and little stuff like those. So it definitely could have do much better, with his some of his passing and his timing. But that change was something that helped the defense line to be more solid because a lot of people write Balashili off, which rightfully, in some aspect, because since he got that injury, he haven't looked the same. And a lot of people will say about Levi Colwell could have done better with the penalty, but little stuff like those happens in games like these. So I think that Levi Colwell, after that mistake, he still step up. But Tostin was the one that definitely was the one that needs someone to carry him during that game. He was a little bit off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You mentioned something that's valid, both of you guys. Yeah, when we made those changes, actually saw improvement, and even with the change for Sancho, Neto coming for Sancho, it actually worked very well because and this is the second match. The same was there against Forest. Sancho really struggled to really make an impact in the match. But yeah, the decision to really take off Tosin and bring on Bada Shield, I was slightly concerned because I always say Bada Shield has the Bozo gene, but he actually came on and did well. There was more fluidity. The movement was quicker. Tosin looked as if, as you mentioned, Garvin, as if the fact that he hasn't played matches consistently or started matches consistently, it's affected his sharpness. So he looked sloppy at times, looked very slow, and as the comment on the screen says, Tosin was too slow as well. So yeah, I think that is what you call being proactive, and Maresca got it right in that aspect because it helped us. The only thing is that we unfortunately weren't able to get a goal, get an additional goal, and let the game be level again. But we move and we have to progress.
Yeah, but one change that I definitely see again that Moresca make. that definitely make a bigger impact on the team. I think that probably the next game, I think that we need to try this out. I think Nodi Madueke need to get hungry again. I think that he need to go on the bench now and find that hunger like the early part of the season, because sometimes you need to drop some players so they know that they're droppable. So they can go back and get that hunger. I think that the switch with Neto go to the left, you can see, the difference. More ball was going into the box. Not only just dribble. It was a lot of balls entering into the box, and little stuff like those. It was more like opportunity to be creating when Neto switched to the right. So I would love to see Neto get a start against Newcastle. I think we should the next game. Another mighty Wake go find back that hunger again, like when they start the season, and come off the bench and see if you can get a little bit of fire out of him. But I think that that was a good change from Maresca to make that change, but I think it was a little bit too late. That switch should have made a little bit longer, a little bit earlier, to give the game a little more impact, because we all see the impact that it does when they make the switch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Go on to Bigo.
Yeah, I just want to ask you, Ty and Tiger, because I see people talking about this. What is your opinion about Rich James studying this game? Do you think Rich James studying this game affected how we played? Because people are saying the reason why we lost is because Enzo Maresca started Rich James. But again, if you check Rich James, he logged. Who was playing that game? Karavan Batch only got chances when Gusto was playing dead. But in the second now, in the first half, he didn't do anything. But again, people are saying we lost this game because there is James started. So I just want your overall thoughts, guys, before we continue.
Do you want to take this first, Garvin? All right, I'll go first. I think you saw what I said on X as well, Tobago. I was very much surprised. I was kind of against James starting because I don't know. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of Chelsea fans were trying to theorize why he would have started when he's supposedly just coming back. Some people are saying that he was fit before, and Maresca didn't want to rush him back, and I guess they're saying he's ready now. But I don't think that it's best to start a player who's just coming back from injury. No matter if it's 3 weeks ago he was ready or whatever, you slowly integrate them back into the team. You don't play them immediately. And yes, you mentioned the fact that it wasn't a case where he looked off the game completely. Gavin mentioned earlier about the whole issue with the goal that Jones ended up scoring. And I think that I wouldn't say it's down to the fact that he was injured, because even last season, okay, we've lost Garvin. But yeah, even though he was injured, we saw that in some sense last season, where he was losing concentration, and teams were able to, the opponents teams were able to get beyond him, their players were able to get beyond him. But it wasn't a case where he was consistently being out hustled or getting past, because he was winning about the ball, he was making good turns. He did look as if he was really injured. But I do think that it's the problem that we would have had is that we were changing a system, a tactical approach that would have worked for us in the past. And I think that when Gusto went to the right eventually, he performed better. He was more impactful than on the left, because on the left he had the issues in terms of making crosses, making passes. It wasn't consistent. So I think that is one thing. I think it needed more time, and I don't think it was a decision that Maresca should have made so early, especially when there was a system that was working perfectly fine. But I understand what he was trying to do, because we saw what Gusto did on the left last season under the former manager. And James was back, and we needed somebody that was resolute rather than to play a centre back on the right. So it makes sense, but I think it kind of messed up the rhythm and the routine of what we've done in the past in previous games. Everyone is back.
Yeah, my take on it. I don't think that it was something bad from Maresca, and the reason why I think it wasn't something bad. I think that yellow card from for Cucurella, that gave him the suspension. I think that's where I have to blame this one on the players that wasn't there, because as I said earlier, was a bit with the discipline, because I think that the reason why it have to do it, because you cannot use Disasi as a right back, and if you have to look up, you have to look again, Mo Salah with the speed, you have to look how he's thinking. Mo Salah with the speed up against a Vega that doesn't know too much about the Premier League as yet. That can be detrimental to any team. So I think that he think about Mo Salah, on that right side. So that's why he tried to use Augusto, who is a very good one-on-one defender. Someone that's very, very good one-on-one. So I think that's why he was forced to use Reece James in that aspect. So I think that it was something that he thought about, and I think that any manager would have thought about it, because you have to look on your squad. You have to look on the weakness and the strength of your squad, and it would be better to use a half fit Reece James, to be quite honest, than a Disasi in that aspect, or a Vega that doesn't never come up against the like of a Mo Salah in the Premier League. So I think that he tried to go with the best option, which I'm not gonna say was the right one, because Vega come on and he did well, but can you put Vega from the start, up in Anfield up against Mo Salah? That's not a risk that a lot of manager would have take, because you don't want to damper his confident going down in the future. So I think that's why he did it. He could have done as what I was saying. He probably could have go the old fashioned way and give Vega the opportunity, But I'm not gonna say that he make a mistake.
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
I agree with you, bro.
Yeah, fair enough. I want us to go through the statistics, a little overview, discuss the game by number. I mean, the numbers is interesting to me when I looked it up initially. But looking at the top stats right here, ball possession, obviously, in the latter stages of the match, second half, we did retain the ball better. The substitution, as Tobago mentioned, when we made certain substitutions, we were able to retain the ball better. We were to move the ball quicker and keep the ball by doing that. But the expected goals right here is actually interesting. 1.63 and then 0.93 for Chelsea. We had more shots in total. They had two times more shots on target than we did, just a slightly above two times more. They had three big chances. They missed one big chance, according to FootMob. We had more accurate passes, as we mentioned before. The substitutions, being able to move the ball with more fluidity and more pace and with quick wittedness, that helped us as well. Obviously, the force committed that doesn't really matter, and the corners doesn't matter as well. This is just giving a more in-depth, information as to what we just discussed. But what do you guys think? Do you think it was a? Because I gave my thoughts. I said that I think that we could have outscored Liverpool. What do you guys think? Do you share that same sentiment? Are you guys
Okay,
still
let me
there?
start. Yeah, I'm still here. Let me start. To be honest, as much as like I can complain or say anything, I don't think this game we deserve to win it. Maybe a draw. We didn't create so many clear cut chances to say that we should have overscored them. Like, to be honest, but again, we had a moment, and the only thing that we failed in the final third, Cole Palmer, Sancho, even Jackson, the first half were poor, to be honest. But again, Noni was the only one that was trying. Even Sancho, yes, he was trying, but again, was he shooting? Was he doing? Was he effective? I don't think so. Only Noni was effective, but in the second half, Noni fell off. So to be honest, I don't think we should have outscored them. But again, maybe a draw would have been fine. But again, I'm not mad.
Garvan. And big up to Mary as well. It's good to see you. I hope you're well. And he's saying that, man, I'm gutted. We should have kept Madueke for 10 minutes. What do you guys think? And I'm going to let Garvan respond to the question I asked, and then we can progress to what Mary says here, and then I'll share something as well. Garvan.
I, as I said earlier, I think Noddy, Noddy should have come off a little bit earlier. To be honest, the end product of Noddy Madueke is kind of off recently. We need to go back on the bench, as I was saying earlier, to get back that hunger again. I'm not being harsh on him, but sometimes that's what you have to do with players. You have to when you go on, the next time when you get the opportunity again, you will go on there and you will perform. I think that that's not a Madueke. I done a little bit more better, in these games recently. Either he been selfish or already take on one too many. But as you were saying, overall with the I was listening to a Liverpool broadcast. It was Samu Sam, that's Samu Sam. I don't know if you guys know him. When they were keeping a party over there where they were saying that they were gonna take us to the cleaners. But I don't think I don't think a lot of people understand what Chelsea are building recently. I think that a lot of people see it and they're scared of what is happening in Chelsea, because a lot of people were saying they want this Chelsea project to fail. The youngest team in the Premier League, put it this way, the youngest team in the Premier League go to Anfield, more possession of the ball. Romeo Lavia seems like he was a man dispossessed in that midfield with Caicedo. It is a better partnership. That's something that you guys can go on a little bit later. But if you notice the way our team are so young, and the confidence that these young players got, the way we've been playing, you know, how can you sit here and point a finger on one individual? You know, it would be for me, it would be something that a little bit of disgraceful, because we can see that the team is very improving. We can see that exactly what Maresca need from these players. You can see what the players are trying. As I'm gonna keep on put it, long as we get the defensive part, in intact, I think, man, the future is really bright. It's really bright. I can't even talk about that much more, man. But the future is really, really bright.
Yes, I agree with you. You started mentioning Madueke, Garvan, when Tobago asked was a chain. Mary saying here that we should have kept Madueke for 10 more minutes, I'm assuming. So what do you think? Do you think that if we had kept him on, we probably would have been able to have a higher chance of scoring an equalizer again?
No, I said that he should have been off a little bit earlier. Remember, I said it earlier in the video where I was saying that that switch with Neto down the right side, it should be a little bit earlier, because you can see that when Neto moved to that side, you can see a lot of our chances was coming from that side. You can see that Pedro Neto was more direct than Noni Madueke. When that in that aspect, he was more less taking on players and more looking for the final pass. To open up or try to open up the Liverpool defensive, line. He was more.
How about you, Tobago?
Well, I agree to disagree because as much as I wanted Neto on the right, I think he played very well on the left also because Sancho, yes, he was doing well, but he was not he was not affecting the game. The only thing that Noni Madueke did bad, the second half he fell off. I don't know why. But in terms of what you guys are saying, I don't agree because Sancho for me he was the weakest link, and then their substitution was right. Unfortunately, Misha was not available. I don't know why. If he was available, maybe we should have put him that side on the left and then Neto on the right. But due to the fact that we didn't have Misha, we had to play Neto that side. So that's why I'm saying I understand.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. I want us to go through this. I want us to talk about this guy right here. Jesus is King mentioned it earlier. We were talking about it. About Sanchez, and I've been seeing tweets online saying that we cannot go anywhere, and that Chelsea will not be going anywhere with this guy in goal. So, according to this statistic, which is alarming to me, which I don't really look at stats and really take into account what they really say, but this says according to most of football, Robert Sanchez registered 0% on his successful diving saves or high claims for Chelsea against Liverpool. Do you think that this is something that we should be worried about going forward, or do you think that this is just a one-off instance?
You know why I'm not worried? Because, like I said, Liverpool didn't create too many chances. To be honest, like I said, they didn't create too many chances. The only way they won this game was due to our mistakes, defensive mistakes. So, in terms of Sanchez, I'm gonna carry a slack for this game because, like I said, Liverpool didn't create too many chances to win this game. As much as people say Liverpool deserve to win this game, I disagree. Maybe a draw, yes, but to win, I disagree.
How about you,
Uh,
Garber?
I'm same with Tobago. I don't think he do much wrong today. As I said, some of his passing was like breathtaking, yes, but even the second penalty that overturned, I think it was a very good, leave his line and very cautious and very well timed tacker. Think that even though they take so long with the VAR, I think that it was clear that he did not touch the ball with the player follow through over him. So anywhere the foul should have been or go to, he would have to go to Sanchez because he definitely hit the ball. It was between man and ball. He was there on the ball first. The player follow through, yes, but you cannot stop a goalkeeper from sliding in either. The momentum gonna take him forward. So I don't think he put a foot wrong. Today, it was error, as I said, from Reece James, and that was because of lack of match sharpness. I don't think that Sanchez have nothing to do with that. The second goal, yes, as a goalkeeper, you don't want to get beaten in that way, but overall, I don't think he put a foot wrong too much today, to be honest. As I said, he can improve with his distribution, can be a little bit better, but not in today game. I don't see nothing too much in his performance today that I can complain about.
Yeah, wow. Well, Garber, I think this is going to be the first time that I slightly disagree with you in terms of Sanchez. Um, yeah, he didn't put a foot wrong completely, and you did say too much, so I'm not sure if you're saying that he did make some errors or there were some imperfect things, but I do think that he's slightly at fault for the second goal, not entirely, because obviously if the defender was marking Jones, that cross by Salah should not have been met with such ease. But I think his starting position was poor. I don't know if, because Jones's control was very heavy. It took him while, and he was able to do better. But I think his starting position was bad. But as you mentioned, Sanchez's passing was excellent, and as I said before, unfortunately, at the start of the stream, I was mentioning things, but my mic wasn't on, and I was saying that as well. The pass that he made in the first half, early in the first half, I think Gusto was the one that would have wasted that opportunity where he tried to make the cross and it didn't work out. But at the same time, yeah, I want to get Bobby's opinion. I want to see what he thinks about Sanchez, and he made a very bold statement earlier, so I want to know what he thinks now. Big up to you, Bobby, and welcome to the channel once more. It's good to always have you here.
Well, big up, Ty. Yeah, I really wanted a win today, but strangely, I'm not as angry with the loss as I thought I might have been because it shows, for me, it was a good inflection of the progress we have made so far and where we actually are. Um, Sanchez, well, I can't really fault him too much. I think our problem is twofold. We need to find a way to improve the midfield. I don't think we're dominant enough in midfield. I don't think Reece James particularly played well either. And although he's just coming back from injury, as is Lavia. And yes, Jackson fit took his goal excellently, but I can see why we're still linked with Osimhen, because maybe the option of having a big bully as well would have given us a different dimension. Look, it was fine margins. As usual, Liverpool were full strength, and they've been that way with each other for a long time. And I thought they were fortunate with the first penalty. I thought we were denied a penalty with a foul on Sancho before Tosin got a yellow card. And, uh, well, 2-1 kind of slightly flattered them because there were swathes of that game where they were not in control at all. But we have to learn to finish better and to be more of a goal threat. But it's, the performance really wasn't a bad one. We're slowly building up to something.
Is everyone there?
Yeah. Oh, Bob, we lost Bobby, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still here. I was wondering if
Is
my
everyone
connection
there?
was bad. But yeah, yeah, you made some valid points. We'll see if he rejoins back. But yeah, I guess we can move on from this, and I want us to talk about okay, I think yeah, Bobby's back now. Oh, you're back,
Yeah, I
Bobby.
don't know how much of that you heard, but I was just rounding off saying that it's quite clear that we are beginning something. We've gone some way, but we still have a way to go. I think we should be quietly happy with the improvement, but we know we have more improvement to do, especially when playing a team like Liverpool at Anfield. Um, Recruitment is slightly there. I can't, after this game, say, hey, look, this player was so bad or this player was so bad. No, I don't think they were bad at all. Gusto needs to get his shooting right, if I must be um, picky. Reece James, well, just coming back from injury, he has had better games. But all in all, there wasn't too much to complain about, and it's really just down to fine margins, more integration, and one, maybe two more additional personnel.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I want us to talk about this player that I'm sharing on the screen now. Garvan Tobago touched on him. Bobby, you're here now. But what do you guys think about Lavia's performance in football? Garvan gave his thoughts. I'm gonna probably skip him slightly and get the thoughts of Tobago and Bobby.
Okay, to be honest, Lavia and Moses Cassid, and they played very well today. Because as much as Liverpool fans will say, "Oh, Jones scored, Karaman played well," but again, for me, Lavia and Moses Cassid, they were brilliant today. Not at their best, but you can see clearly Liverpool didn't create anything in the middle, but overall they'll get there. It's just those kind of games where we should have done better, but again, those small margins. Bobby, to you.
Sorry, Lavia. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
I mean,
Lavia.
I saw nothing wrong with his performance today. You know, somebody that's been out for so long and somebody that's quite young. You know, we're expecting big things from such a young guy. Um, Ian Caicedo didn't play badly. I think they played well. Could they have done better? I think with time they will. Sometimes the midfielders, you see, we've got to a stage where sometimes you have to allow the capability and the brilliance of the individual player on the field to interpret what the manager wants. They didn't do badly at all. Liverpool at home. To be fair to the referee, I thought he was going to be against us. He started some dodgy things, but he did favour us here and there, which is more than we've ever had at Anfield for many a year. Um, I don't know. I can't fault anyone. I think Lavia will get better with time. The fitter he is, we'll start seeing the best of him. If he can have a long stretch of fitness, we'll start seeing a long stretch of the real ability of Romeo Lavia.
Yeah, Gavin, you can finish what you wanted to say earlier. You said you could discuss him, man. You seem as if you were enticed to challenge us with a question. So if you're still there, Garvin, you can propose the argument that you wanted to propose earlier.
Yeah, what I was saying earlier, before Sir Bobby come on, and I think Tobago overheard what I was saying. I think that is a he more bring the best out of Caicedo than what Enzo would have done. The balance of the midfield was a little bit better today without Enzo. To be quite honest, you can see Caicedo got a little bit more freedom where he don't have to worry about carry someone on his back. You know, I think that in the future, this midfield that we got, only can get better, as what Bobby said earlier. There's a lot for improvement. Lavia, we still have to take our time with him because of the long injury. Break, just the same thing like with Reece James. But I think that the only way you can look forward for this player is a future. I think that he's definitely going to be a major part of this Chelsea midfield going to the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I just want to go through what the statistic says as well. So Romeo Lavia won more duels, six, completed more take-ons, 3 out of 3, and made more interceptions too than any other Chelsea player in the first half versus Liverpool. Now, yeah, I mean, as Bobby would have mentioned, I mean, he didn't play as if he was a player that hasn't played or started much games. I mean, he was a breath of fresh air when he was playing, and I was really happy with what I was seeing from him as well. So, yeah, that is a valid point that you guys have shared. Tobago's left, but I want to thank him for joining, and I'm gonna do this as well. So, guys, please remember to subscribe to Coolest Shows podcast. Subscribe to Govern as well, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel Chelsea Session as well. And let's try to push up the likes. The likes can be better. It's not the greatest, but it's good, but we can do better. So, share the stream as well, and give your thoughts. Continue to give your thoughts in the chat. Mary is saying that Lavia must start going forward. I agree with that. and the Sancho PK, the penalty kick show. We mentioned it earlier, Garvan. I'm gonna go to Bobby try to get his insights because he joined a bit late, so he didn't really get to give all his opinion on certain incidents in the game. But the penalty kick, the three encounters, the three shouts of penalties that would have occurred. Bobby, what do you think about the situation with Trent and Sancho? Do you think that we should have gotten a penalty there?
I do. You see, the referee put himself in a corner. He let that go, and immediately afterwards, he was forced to then book Tosin, which looked odd. And then he the first penalty shout. I don't know. I can't remember the movement now, but there was an incident where it was touch and go whether he would give a penalty. He didn't, and then he decided to do so in the next phase of action where he probably, the Liverpool first penalty really, I thought was very soft. So it's a difficult game to referee, but it wasn't an aggressive game, and he didn't have to put himself under those sort of pressures where he spent a lot of time trying to compensate each club for previous errors he had made. Look, I don't have any complaints really in this game, to be honest. I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, okay, progress made. Yep, Liverpool showed on the day that perhaps they deserved the win. They showed just a marginal amount of a team that is, shall I say, more mature in the making. Certainly defensively, I think their defense helped them a lot today, a lot, because the mobility of our strikers is very difficult to deal with, as the Jackson goals showed. So we live to fight another day. I think there'll be more improvement. The key for Chelsea is fitness. More fitness to the likes of Lavia, Reece James. I think we could have done with Cucurella today. I think he would have pocketed Salah better or anybody else coming down that left flank. Not that Gusto did badly, but Cucurella is slightly more savvy. I think he would have linked a bit better with Sancho, who what's the name? Trent pocketed quite well, to be fair. The only person that really gave him problems was when Neto came on. Look, it's always going to be a battle with Liverpool. They are a well-established side. Did I think we could beat them today? I think we could. Do I think if we meet them again and we have a proper team to play with again, I think they're due a hiding. And it's coming. It's coming. They know it. We know it. We're on the up and they've plateaued. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, fair enough. Going back to you. I know you said you have to leave soon, so you can give your final thoughts if you have to leave, and we'll probably try to discuss a few more aspects, and then we can call it a day. We could there'll be a follow-up show up tomorrow with the co-host Ayode. So anything that we don't really cover today, it will be covered tomorrow, so you can keep your eyes peeled for that. But Garvan, over to you.
Yeah, I still got a few more minutes. But for what Sir Bobby said, it was really spot on. But my biggest take on the lead up to this game, though, it was the way how the Liverpool fans, was saying that it was a Chelsea funeral. You know, I see this Premier League this season that a lot of people are gonna get shocked. And when I said a lot of people are gonna get shocked, I mean like the main teams that should because Liverpool not gonna keep up this form for the whole entire season. Man City be a close margin, going into the period. And this is the first time Chelsea gonna have a December period where we're not gonna play a lot of teams in the top five or the top six. it's gonna be a in between, a bounce around. So it's gonna be one of the first time that Chelsea gonna have this favor in that December period. Can we make a run? That's another but we got a lot of favor December transfer window, open up for us. But I'm wondering if we can take or I'm just gonna ask Sir Bobby this. Do you think we can take advantage of this December period that we got coming up?
It's hard to say. For me, fitness matters now for us. Whoever is fit and stays fit will determine how well we do. We certainly have a team. I think we have a team that everybody should be scared of because we're coming. We're not quite there yet. I don't think we've hit our stride. I've never said we'll hit our stride before December. I think we're going there, but we will not hit us, in my opinion. We will not really hit our stride until about December time anyway. Can we go through a schedule of meeting somewhat mid-table teams successfully? If we're fit, why not? But remember, they pose another challenge. They give you the physicality that in the past we've struggled with over that December period. So everything we do this season is still part of a learning curve. And we're still discovering the team we have.
Mm, fair enough. I agree with you. I agree with you, Bobby. I agree with you with that. Um, I do believe that and it goes back to players such as James, who I understand why he was taken off. He didn't have the greatest of game, but players like James, players like Lavia, players who are coming back, and Bobby mentioned this earlier on Chelsea's perspective. For the pre-match show, where it was the first time in around 3 years that we were facing off against Liverpool without having injuries or having a squad that has injuries. Yes, we had two players missing due to suspension, but we didn't have injury issues, and maybe then I can probably add this to what Bobby would have mentioned then, that we still did not have the all the best or ideal players available to us. Nevertheless, it wasn't due to injury, so that's a positive, and hopefully we can have that turn in favor, and we get that advantage of not constantly having injuries plaguing us every season. Because I believe that, and as you guys said, if we do have a squad that's more fit by December, we could have a better December period than the ones we've had for the past 3 years or slightly more. But yeah, I do agree with that. And we just have to wait and see. I want us to discuss briefly about Nicholas Jackson. I initially would have said I don't think the match really suited him because of the deep line that Liverpool were playing. But do you guys think that he had a good game? What do you think? What would you rate his performance out of 10 in terms of what he did, barring scoring the goal, for example?
Do you want me to go first?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Because, yeah, I mean, Nicholas Jackson is a young, ever improving striker. He's certainly improving, and he has a lot of ability. Is he a number nine? It remains a question, but he's flexible enough to play it. He's flexible enough to play alongside a number nine. I was quite interested in seeing how Maresca left him and Nkunku on, which I thought was good and gave another difference. If we get a proper number nine per se, he will play well with him as well. Um, I like Nicholas. I think he's going to be a formidable player. He's just young, learning, and improving, and it shows.
Don't call me crazy, Sir Bobby. But Ty know my take on this because
Yeah,
I've said it on a few of my shows. I think Nicholas Jackson is a better football player than Erling Haaland. You know, I think he is a better footballer than majority of these strikers around. The only thing they got over Nicholas Jackson is the finishing. Nicholas Jackson run behind. He make all these runs that these striker make, and even do it better than most of these strikers. But the thing is, most of the times he don't complete it. Once Nicholas Jackson can reach a stage where he can complete the move, finish his dinner. Then Nicholas Jackson will be up there with the likes of your Erling Haaland, or even go one step better. I think Nicholas Jackson have everything in his locker to be a world class striker. Long as he get the finishing right, we definitely can see something from this young man right here. That's on the screen, the Nicholas Jackson that we're talking about. Can he do it? It's up to him. I think that the sky's the limit for this young man, because he got skills. If you watch Manchester City game, if Erling Haaland doesn't score, other from that, you don't hear nothing about Erling Haaland in the game. He's lost. Nicholas Jackson drops deep. He pick the ball up. He drive on defender. He run in behind. He link up play. He's doing everything as a striker. You ask for a striker. The only problem is just the clinical part. I don't know what Sir Bobby think about it.
I think you're right. There certainly was nothing wrong with the clinical side of his finishing today. But you're right. His movements, everything about him, puts him right up there. I think he is capable of becoming one of the very best if he adds finishing to his game. But we have to remember, people might say, oh, Erling Haaland is young as well. That's very true. But I think with his youth, Nicholas is developing. And he's developing because the way he plays requires him to develop it into, into functionality. And it will take him a little bit of time. The best thing about him is that we're seeing his improvement before our eyes, and we can't really ask for much more than that.
And one more thing, Ty,
Yeah,
on the
I just
Nicholas.
found that. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead,
sorry.
Ty.
I wanted to say this. You're not the only one that. Yeah, you're not the only one that. Apparently, you're not the only one that thinks that in terms of the Holland and Jackson thing, because this person right here says that Erling Holland, who best striker in the Premier League. So you can continue saying what you're saying. I just wanted to share this because I actually saw it in the response of the Fabrizio Romano tweet.
Yeah, because what I was gonna refer to, you have to look at it. I'm from a third world country, and I know the development of the game in a third world country is not like in Europe. I know it's more harder, more difficult. Erling Haaland is a well sorted off striker. Even in his young days, because his dad was a professional football player, so he get to go to the best of the best. And develop in the right way. Which Nicholas Jackson does not get the preferred, of development like what your Erling Haaland get. Like get the chance to go to a Borussia Dortmund, where in the Germany they played at such a high line where he can manage and get to develop his craft. He went to a difficult league, which that the Spanish league, where he still perform, but we have to look at it that he's not in Europe for that long to learn the craft, or in the academy that teach you the craft as a youngster. So now he's just learning. Majority of his craft is what he's learning right now, but you can see that there's a talent in there. He just need to unleash.
Yeah, I agree with you. Um, right. So just so that we can wrap up, because there's not really much that we can be discussed. As I said before, there will be a follow-up show tomorrow by Ayodi, who will discuss this in greater detail. He'll focus on the tweets. He will zoom in, and he'll use the tweets to stir the conversation when he does his episode 3 of Chelsea Socials, where we utilize tweets. We use what fans are saying online, or what tweets from the reputable sources, media sources are saying. So we can wrap it up with this last aspect. Now, you mentioned the fixtures that we have coming up, Gareth. And yeah, I believe we have Newcastle next, then we have Man United, then Arsenal. So what do you guys think we need to do, improve on, or do as we progress into the next match? I think we do have do we have a Conference League match coming up this week? I'm not sure of the fixtures in terms of other competitions.
Yes, yes, we do have a conference league coming up.
Okay, so back to what I was asking. What do you guys think we can do in terms of Newcastle? Newcastle, I believe they suffered a defeat 1-0 to Brighton yesterday. So, what do you think we need to do as we progress into the more competitive matches? Liverpool started them, and we have a few spells left. So, what do you guys think? I can start with you, Garvan. You're in a better position in terms of responding now. But what do you guys think? What do you think, Garvan?
I think we just have to stick to what we're doing. I know for a fact that the result, gonna come because going to Anfield and out position the likes of a Liverpool at Anfield. The first 25 minutes, like Liverpool could not get nowhere close to Chelsea. And I think if we continue, what we're doing, what we're building on, I think that as I said earlier, the sky is the limit. I think that we can get result from these teams that a lot of people saying that we're probably not going to get result from. You can see the team already gelling together. As Sir Bobby said earlier, it's just time. They just need more time together. I'm looking forward for next season where you will see the full potential of this team. With a few more addition. But I think that the result would be something better than probably today. Or in a similar fashion where we control majority of the games. But I see that we get some points out of this tough run that we got coming up.
Yeah, how about you, Bobby? What do you think?
I think the same. I think we have to just keep doing what we're doing. Um, with time, the more we do it, the better we are at it. To a certain extent, Liverpool were quite fortunate today. I don't mean they didn't deserve their win, but it could have gone another way. So we just take it a game at a time. We're away to Panathinaikos um, on Thursday. We play that game. I think we come back. We've got another game on Sunday. So there's the squad rotation and the integration is going to be very important. But we can beat anybody. Should we get it right? I don't think we have anyone to fear.
Fair enough, fair enough. Um, if you don't have anything else to say, Garvan, I think we can call it a day. But do you have anything else you want to say before we conclude this show?
No, I'm just want to say, thanks to you and Sir Bobby. It's been a long time since I share a stream with Sir Bobby because of the business and so forth. But it was always a pleasure, to be here, with the legend Sir Bobby and yourself, Ty. The brothership that we got, and to see our Chelsea, it's doing better than last season. I can sit comfortable and watch the game without having a panic attack or something. I don't know how the results gonna go. It's a good look, and I really thanks to the owners and Maresca, to at least give us some stability, this season. No, a lot of noise that's coming out of the camp like it used to. It's a little bit more quiet. The negativity kind of like switch to Manchester United side, you know, um, and to other teams. But I'm just like the road that we're taking on right now and the way we're going. I just hope that the future will be brighter, and me and Bobby can sit and smile one day, and yourself, Ty, that we win a Premier League title before even Arsenal win one. Or even our rival Manchester United. So hopefully in the near future we can at least win a Premier League title.
All right.
Absolutely.
How about yeah? How about you, Bobby? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, that's very possible. Yes, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys. Gavin, I'm a great fan. I enjoy his streams and enjoy the privilege of going on his streams. And with you, Ty, doing a stream is always a pleasure. We go back a very long way. So, yeah, I think we're on the right track. We've been patient enough to get to this point. let's remain patient as fans to get to the top. You know, this is a big step we're making, and you know, it's not easy coming this far. We have to remember we are the youngest team in the Premier League by some distance, and we are improving. And I don't think we have anybody to fear. The only thing that we have to do is focus on ourselves and our own improvement, and we'll get there.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you, Bobby. I want to thank you, Garvan. It's always a pleasure to share the panel with both of you. I want to thank Tobago, who was here earlier. I want to thank Jesus is King, Information Supreme, Myri Ray. I think Owen was here as well. And yeah, Miss Molina was also here, Victor, Timmy Turner. Thank you to you all. Thank you for watching. And for those who'll be watching this after, um, ensure that you share the stream, ensure that you like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. With that being said, up the Chelsea, the blue flag flying high. I know the result wasn't favorable in his favor, but we move and we progress into the next fixture that will be later this week. So big up to you guys and cheers.